Throwback to the 7th of February 2022. Was it worth £15.15? Good morning, everyone. It is now 8:38 a.m. and I have arrived at the Breakfast Club. They actually open at 8 a.m. So this is their menu. I think I'm gonna go for the All-American, because that is the dish that made them famous. So this is my breakfast. It's actually quite big. So I think I'm gonna be quite full. Actually couldn't finish the breakfast. I'm kind of full now, but I had a bit of everything and it was alright. Was it worth £15.15? Probably not. So yeah, I also have like 3 cups of water, so I feel like if I have more, then later on I'll need to new and that will be very inconvenient. So I'm currently walking to a charity shop because one of the things to do here in Clapham Junction is actually charity shopping. Even though I don't like shopping, but I'm just gonna show you the shop, and I'm gonna try and take a photo here, but it's kind of hard. So this is one of the charity shops. This is another one of their charity shops. This is called the British Hearts Foundation. So my next destination is actually this Battersea Library, so I'm gonna go and just look at it. So this is the Battersea Art Center. I just took a photo of it and I'm gonna cross over. Oh, they are only open for the evening. So I'm gonna go to my next destination now, which is the Clapham Common Park. So I've arrived at the Clapham Common Park, and to be honest, I think all I'm gonna get is green fields. I don't think there are any photo taking spots in this park, but I'm gonna try and fly my drone here and tell you guys about the history of this park. Clapham Common was once the wasteland of manors of Clapham and Battersea. Here, the villagers grazed their livestock and gathered brushwood for their fires, while the pond supplied good drinking water. Rights over the western half were claimed by both the parishes of Clapham and Battersea, and in the 17th century, the parishes contested ownership with fisticuffs and lawsuits. The disputed boundary, running north to south across the common, is the modern boundary between the boroughs of Lambeth and Wandsworth. By the late 17th century, the common was being used for recreation, including horse racing and cricket. In the next century, its gravel was exploited for road making. The many gravel pits became ponds, and on one of these, the American statesman and scientist Benjamin Franklin experimented with the properties of oil on the surface of water. Big houses were built all around the common, but it remained a rough place, frequented at night by robbers. In the 1760s, a wealthy local resident named Christopher Baldwin led an initiative to improve the common by leveling and filling ditches and planting trees. Before that, the topographer Daniel Lessons wrote, "It was a little better than a morass." Now, the number and variety of trees gave it very much the appearance of a park. In 1774 to 76, Holy Trinity Church was built on land taken from the common to replace the old parish church. Holy Trinity achieved fame as the church of the Clapham sect. The group of Christian philanthropists, led by William Wilberforce, who in 1807 achieved the abolition of the transatlantic slave trade. About the church trees were planted by James Cook, son of the great explorer, one of them being known as Captain Cook's tree, destroyed by lightning a century ago. It was replaced by the black poplar, which stands near the big drinking fountain of 19th century. The common was managed by a group of local trustees who filled in ponds and continued to level and plant. Grazing still took place. There were sheep on the common as late as the 1920s, but the common was now established as a place of leisure for the people of a fast-growing and wealthy suburb. Elsewhere in London, commons were at risk for sale to developers, and in the 1860s, new legislation allowed them to be purchased for the benefit of the public. In 1877, the Metropolitan Board of Works purchased Clapham Common. So there is a skateboard here, there's a pond here, which I did see in my drone clip. So I'm gonna use my drone to help me take a photo. Oh wow, is that a game there? I think there's a pavilion somewhere here as well. There is a children's playground here. I think this spot over here is a nice photo taking spot. And there's a pond over there. Oh wow, there's a really big pond over here. Obviously I can't fly my drone here because it's by the road, so I'm gonna have to use my tripod. Oh wow, I think that park over there is the end. So after I finish that, I'm gonna go back to where I started my walk. Oh, there is actually a fun fair here from the 12th of February until the 20th of February. But I don't know if it's open every year or just this year. Oh, this area is actually called the Battersea Woods, an open area of woodland comprising shrubs, and it's dominated by the species of blackwood. And that's where I started walking around the park, and it actually took me around an hour to walk this park. Oh, there's a Holy Trinity Clapham here. Although it's not on my list, I'm gonna go to see if it's open. So it wasn't open, but since I'm in a park, I'm gonna fly my drone here and tell you guys about the history of this chapel. Oh, and there's a restaurant. Holy Trinity was the ancient parish of Clapham, and an early church of that name stood on a site now occupied by St. Paul's Rectory Grove. With the increase in population in this area, the original church was not considered large enough. The new Holy Trinity was built in 1774 to 1779 on the Common. The architect was Canton Coos, who was also responsible for 10 Downing Street, and consecration took place in June 1776. The burial ground around the old church, later known as St. Paul's Churchyard, remained in use until 1855, as no burials took place in the churchyard around the present Holy Trinity. So there is actually a St. Paul's Churchyard here, and it is a small open space surrounding the Church of St. Paul's, but this St. Paul's is actually in Clapham. I'm gonna go in to see. So the church itself is not open, but there are loads of graveyards yet there, and I don't really want to stay near graveyards for too long. Oh, there's an Eden Nature Garden here, but there's not much plants being planted. According to Google, this is the 575 Wandsworth Road. I have no idea why this is on my list, but I saw that there is a Heathbrook Park nearby, so I want to fly my drone there and tell you guys about the history of that park. Heathbrook Park was laid out and opened in 1978. The 1 o'clock Center and Youth Club followed a few years later. Originally, the park was provided with a lake and cafe, and there was an aviary. Where are they now, though? Sadly, none of this survived the vandalism and destruction documented in the 1980s. Oh, there was a vandalism and destruction in the 1980s? I did not know that. Actually, I want to find out more about that. So I might tell you guys a bit about that. So I was not able to find any information about the vandalism and destruction. So I will just continue on with the history of this park. So Heathbrook Park was an area that had been so long deprived of any facilities that it did not take ownership when they were provided. Only a small playground survived from the original features and continues in use. And this park is actually a large enclosed area of mown amenity grass. If you guys are wondering how to get here, there are actually 4 entrances, although 2 are currently shut. One entrance from a Lambeth housing estate in Westbury Street, and it provides access for service vehicles. And the one in the 1 o'clock Center and the Youth Center has entrances in St. Louis Street, separate from the park, although both also have near access directly into the park. And that's about all the information that I have for you guys. So if we do end up coming to this Heathbrook Park, please let me know in the comment section below. So this is the Clapham Clock Tower. It's actually on the Clapham High Street, and I was actually looking for the Denstreet Market, but I couldn't find it here. So I realized the best place to take a photo with this clock tower is here, and it's opposite the Clapham Common Station. I feel like I actually already arrived at Denstreet Market, and the last thing on my list is this picture house. I mean, I'm not actually gonna watch a movie, but I just want to let you guys know that there's a cinema here, and I'm probably gonna end this vlog here. Although it's only 1:30, I've actually traveled for around 6.5 hours now, because I actually started at 8 o'clock. So if you enjoyed this vlog, don't forget to like, subscribe, share it with your friends, and comment down below to let me know if you ended up going to any of these places because of a vlog. And I'll see you all with another traveling vlog or music later today.